Welcome to Casita512. I'm your host, Doug. I'm joined by Scott Willis, the founder of Tequila 512, and we are so lucky today to have the legendary Walt Wilkins on the couch, joined by Tina Wilkins. Welcome, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us.
So around these parts, we tend to start each interview off with a shot of Blanco. If you will indulge us.
Yeah.
If you don't mind, we'd like to...
This is not a huge sacrifice for me.
Well, I appreciate your
Cheers to y'all.
bearing the burden. Cheers to you, Tina.
Cheers.
Yes. Cheers, everybody. You have a lot of history here in Austin.
I grew up here. I'm a sixth-generation Texan. My dad was an Air Force pilot. After Vietnam and a promotion, he got to finally choose where he wanted to go, and he wanted to come back to Texas, to Austin, and flew at Bergstrom, till he retired. So Austin was a dream to grow up in.
So fast forward 6 years, you pick up a guitar.
When I was 14, and I don't know, I love music. My dad loved music and had a cool record collection. So I grew up kind of digging music. I liked how it made him look. He was kind of a stern guy, but music kind of softened him up.
You say record collection. What was he spending for you back then?
Country. He was a country guy. But the records that really got me, honestly, were Glenn Campbell records of the late 60s.
Yeah.
These are the records like Galveston, and By the Time I Get to Phoenix. So I know every nuance of that's all, in every fold of my brain. Those records really got me. Anyway, I just somehow knew that a guitar was gonna make sense for me, and it did. I mean, it did. And I was a born writer. I wrote poetry as a kid. I played sports and all that, okay? But I wrote. But I did.
Volleyball doesn't count.
Yeah, no. And it just took a long time to get kind of where I wrote something good. And when I was 24. I was living in Louisville, Kentucky, and I wrote a song that I went, okay, this is it. This is song one. And I knew right then.
How do you know that?
It was a good song.
Yeah. What song was that?
It's called Songs About Texas. Wow. And it's about being homesick.
No.
And I knew, and it's been recorded, by other people, but I didn't need, at the time I went, all right, now I'm on a path. I get it.
Right.
And I can do this. And I always knew it would happen. Or thought it would happen. I shouldn't say I knew, but I thought it would happen. And then the songs from there on were different. They got better.
Was there a crossover moment where you saw the success? The right person sang it and it just...
Yes. Yeah, that's a great question. The first song, Songs About Texas, was recorded a few years later by a guy named Pat Green. And Pat, the song, was it worked for him in Texas, and it happened to be it was the right song at the right time for the right guy, and all this Texas music was just bubbling up, and he was the guy, and that song got him on the radio, and country, it got him on the radio. At the time, there were no Texas music stations.
Right.
A couple of years after that, I came down from Nashville to play South by Southwest. Pat was playing out at Green Hall. I had met him by then. And so a couple of guys, we came down from Nashville. We drove down to Green Hall to see him play. And we parked the car like 2 miles away. It was packed, And walking up, he was playing the song. And the whole hall was just shaking.
Rocking.
People singing. And this guy, Jim T. Graham, and I looked at each other and we just thought, oh my God, this is really cooler than we thought, and that was a big, I thought that moment was pretty cool.
I know you're a big fan.
Yeah. What is the favorite song you've ever written personally, and why?
I can't say I have one favorite. I have a handful, but there's one song that I wrote that was purely, it started as a poem. It was purely from emotion, and it's been recorded over 10, 12, I don't even know how many, honestly don't know how many times recorded. And that was a song I wrote when I was in Pat Green's band for 1 year. When he hit the road and saw the whole United States, he wanted me to go out and sing harmony and play guitar. And in his bus in the morning, they were all kids, and I was the old man. And I woke up early and watched the world go by, and I wrote this poem and took it, and I knew it was cool, and I have a favorite songwriter, and I took it to him and said, this is what I think. Is there a song here? You know, and he said, yes. We wrote it, we finished it, and that song's been recorded much. It's called Someone Somewhere Tonight, and it's been recorded 4 years ago by Kelly Pickler. Before that, Pam Tillis. Before that, Kenny Rogers.
Nice.
Wow.
But and the other great thing about that song is that I get to sing it, and Tina and I sing it. She sang on the original recording that's been copied by so many people, and it's still as meaningful to me. You know, it's Wednesday. You know, this whole week for all of us, it's just been an ass kicking. You know?
Yeah.
And
been heavy.
And it's a song that kind of it addresses, you know, the kind of the eternal amidst the things that aren't.
Your country music, so I can't help thinking like this Johnny June type reference. But do you guys play together a lot? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
you guys perform together regularly?
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, around the house, you say, who's going to do this, you or me? And I'll go, dude, let's just Johnny and June it. We'll do it together.
Nice. I like that. I like that. You guys have been acquaintances of Chris for a long time. I know he's got a question for you.
Anything.
So, I've always admired your vibe, and I
Well,
feel like, you
grew
know,
it.
obviously hearing a little more of the story tonight of growing up here and your artist influence and kind of who you followed and who you listened to at an early age lends to that, obviously. But when did you feel like you were comfortable in what you're doing? Because I feel like every time I've been around you, anytime we sat and had a glass of tequila, it's like I just want to lean in and listen to a story. I want to hear, you know, just like I'm doing tonight. Was there a moment or an age where you felt like, okay, I can relax, I can breathe a little bit?
Oh, man. That is a great question. That's a great question. Especially considering today. I mean, I don't know that you're ever, if you mean, did I ever feel like, oh, I'm on the right path?
Right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, open mics, everyone's familiar with open mics. I played one. I played an open mic at Chicago House in 1991. Jimmy LaFave was the host. And I'd written 4 songs or 5. So I'd go down to the open mic, and there's like 6 people in the Chicago House, which was, by the way, just a great room. It's gone, long gone. And I played my 2 songs, nervous as all hell, you know. And yet, I remember just going, yeah, absolutely. This makes perfect sense. I'm going to learn how to do this. Got off stage, and Jimmy goes, you sound a lot like Willis Allen Ramsey. I said, yeah, he's kind of my hero. And he goes, well, you know, that makes sense then. And but I don't know. Making art for a living is, I don't know that you're ever too comfortable. Because you're always thinking, well, have I really done the coolest thing that I've done? Have I, you know, God, I haven't, you know, sometimes I'll be like, I haven't written a song in weeks. Holy shit, you know, the whole thing depends. This whole train that feeds the family, that supports a band, all that depends on me, you know, coming up with songs. And if it goes too long, it's like, it's a bad feeling. I mean, it's a bad feeling if you're scared. As I get older, I go through the droughts a little more comfortably, but that's a great question. I don't know that, yeah, I knew I was there were several markers where I went, yeah, I'm on the right path. I'm not going to back down. I'm not going to quit, you know. Even though I started kind of old, I was 29, no, I was 32 when I quit my really cool job I loved and went to Nashville. But well, you're trying to do something cool. I want to write my best song. I hope I haven't written the best song yet.
I can't thank you enough for hanging out, being here with us.
Appreciate all
thank you
y'all.
very much.
I am one more pilgrim on this road low and high, through this land of miracles. I've been traveling all night, tangled with the darkness. I swear at moments I was blind, till the dawn came up around me. I could see the way unwind. I am the road behind me. I am the road ahead, lifted by this rocky ridge. watch it shine. Watch it shine. They say there's iron in these mountains, and in bone and skin and mud. They say that iron only comes from stars, so stars are in my blood, red and blue and purple. The shadows grow and fade, spreading all directions where it all was made. I am the road behind me. I am the road ahead, lifted by this rocky ridge, cradled by the riverbed, a harmony of motion through the wide expanse of time. Sunlight through the heavens, watch it shine. Watch it shine. Watch it shine. Watch it shine.